So how this vision starts is the moment I fall asleep, I open my eyes and I'm on this train, and it's pretty much like a bullet train. I saw like bird's eye view of how long it was. It had like a lot of carts, and so it starts on this train. So just a word of knowledge that I did have when I entered this train was this train was owned by Disney. So everything that happened in the train here has something to do with Disney, I believe, but don't hold me on that, because the thing is that obviously only God knows the future. And just a little discretion here, I don't watch any Disney stuff anymore, and I don't know what's going on over there. So as I wake up, I have knowledge that I'm in this bullet train and in one of the carts. So what I do is I look up, and it's this TV that's on. I don't know what's on the TV, but I see people dancing in the TV. And also I look around me and there's a whole bunch of people, and they noticed me. But the thing is that after they noticed me, they didn't care about me, and all of a sudden they looked at the TV and everyone started dancing. So what I do is I wanted to get out of this place. So as soon as I had that thought, I went to the last cart that's on the train, and that cart is actually empty. So as soon as I enter this cart, there is actually another person that shows up right next to me, even though it's empty. It was a sister in Christ, and then we noticed that. And there's some kind of show that starts on all the carts in the trains, and the show is actually these fairies that look like Tinkerbell, if you guys know who she is. She starts flying all over the trains, and for some reason I wear glasses, but I put on my glasses in the dream and I can see that there's an illusion going on. And then I'm like, okay, this is not good, right? And then after that show ends, what happens is it's time for us to move to the front for some reason. And then there's this announcement that every single cart, wherever you are, there's gonna be snacks that's served to everybody. And as me, I don't know what happened to this sister in Christ, but as I'm moving up to the front, I just had that feeling that I had to go to the front, or all the way to the front. I started moving and I saw a whole bunch of people grabbing a whole bunch of snacks. I wasn't able to grab any snacks because people grabbed it so fast, and every single cart had different snacks on it, or different foods for everybody. So as I reach the front, there's this huge meeting room. So what's going on is in this meeting, a lot of people show up, and the owner of this Disney train, he's sitting there, and he has another brother, and his brother tells him, hey, you've been doing really good, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna promote you, I'm gonna pay you more, and I'm also gonna have another job for you. And then for some reason, this Disney guy and his bigger brother, what they do is they're very happy and they hug each other. And then that part of the vision, after that I see someone that comes to sit next to me, and after that I go on to the next vision. And then how this vision starts is I stand up right on a hill and I look around me. It's very dark and I'm on these hills or whatever, and there's like a bridge behind me. And what I do is I look across the horizon. I see a whole bunch of people running, and all these people are running from this fog, or this one really thick fog. But interesting enough, inside the fog, although I can't get on AI photos for some reason, in the fog there's these little black spirits in them. And then as everyone's running, I start running too, because I'm not sure what this thing is. But what happens is this thing's moving so fast that it overtakes a lot of people, even me. And then while this fog overtook me, I looked into this fog and I could see these little black spirits, like I said, and the whiteness in them. And I realized that they had no power to harm me. And so I was like, okay, this is nothing, I've dealt with this kind of stuff before. And so for some reason, this thing passes me by, and I look around and every single person is gone. The only one left is just me standing there. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm fine. So I'm standing underneath this bridge right now, and then I see that there's a car approaching me, and it's a Jeep. I see the headlights, it's coming closer and closer, and then all of a sudden it stops right on top of my head. And all of a sudden this woman, she comes out and stands on top of this Jeep, and it's a woman with brown hair. And then the moment this happens, now as this woman was standing on top of her Jeep, I heard a huge announcement that was like all over the world, or at least I can hear it, the voice. It was announcing that The Last of Us 3 was coming out. Now question is, I'm not sure if this is like the announcement of the release date. I don't know if this is an announcement that like the game is actually not being worked on, or is worked on, or anything like that. I'm not sure, but I just heard that The Last of Us 3 is coming out. Now, after this announcement, I was in bird's eye view, like flying around. I was looking around and I noticed that a lot of people, they were pretty much isolated in their own little groups. And because this plague or whatever had came by. And then as I was approaching this warehouse, or pretty much a dark warehouse, there's these two guys that come out and they say, "Hey, we need your help. We noticed that, you're pretty much the only person that can help us." And I'm like, okay, I had that knowledge that I am immune to the plague. And then I said, okay, I can help you guys. And then they lead me towards this really dark warehouse. Now, one very interesting fact is those two guys also said that this plague had taken all their women. So I don't know if this plague affects women more than men. I have no idea, but they told me that. So as I'm heading into this warehouse, it's very dark and I get near a bedroom, but I look on the left and I see a brother in Christ, I believe. He was on the laptop and I say, "Hey, you shouldn't be on the laptop right now, it's very dangerous." And he was like addicted to like gaming or something like that, and he just couldn't stop at all. So I was like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that, it's not good for you." That's what I told him. So what's going on is I'm in this room and these two guys that led me here, they were like telling me, "Hey, we have no way to fighting these plagues." And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I don't know why this happens, but I wake up in one of the beds and I tell them, "Don't worry, like I have a lot of weapons here, these are gonna be effective." And they're like so happy, and then they start grabbing all these weapons. Then after that, I don't see these two guys anymore. I'm alone in the room and I have all these weapons, but what happens is all of a sudden a monster, or pretty much a creature or demon, shows up right at the door. And this creature, I can't find this on AI obviously, so you guys gonna have to like imagine it yourself. But pretty much this creature, it looks like bubble gum or like a skin. Like it's white and it's also a little bit pinkish. But what it does is inside it's actually hollow. So what happens is when it comes towards me, I get underneath the bed and I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't grab any weapons." But what I do have with me is I have a knife, right? And as this thing is trying to surround me, I start cutting this thing. And every time I cut this creature or this plague, it actually expands itself. But every time I cut it, there's these black goo that come out of it, out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I keep cutting it. I cut it about 4 or 5 times and it's expanding everywhere. And the black goo is just falling everywhere. And then after that, I blink one time and everything's gone. The black goo and also the expansion of this substance, whatever it is, it just disappeared. After that creature or that plague was destroyed, at least in that room, the woman that I saw earlier in this vision, she shows up at the door and she's telling me that there's other plagues that are expanding everywhere out there too, and I need to go help them. And I said, "Sure, I got the tools." And then she, for some reason, she starts getting freaked out and she starts running off. I don't know why, maybe because she saw one of these creatures or she's afraid. I'm not really sure. She starts running off, and then I see one of the other guys earlier that had got some weapons from me. I see him and he's like super afraid too. And so I run after them, but however, the woman, she starts running through the darkness and this other guy starts running through the darkness. I'm like, "No, in dreams, you don't follow people through the darkness, okay?" But I don't do that. And then after that, I just wake up from the vision. Now, after I wake up, I'm lying there just thinking a little bit, and then I look at my phone and it's 1:11 a.m. in the morning on July 18th, 2024. Now, this is just my interpretation after thinking about it for a few days and praying about some things. I think the Disney train has something to do with the timing. Maybe God is just calling someone that's listening to this dream to come out of Disney and, stop watching things that are bad for your eyes. And also the whole illusion thing with all the colors and Tinkerbell, it just might be saying that, Disney's gonna be promoting more of, people being gay and all that stuff, and transgender, all that stuff. And once they keep promoting that stuff, whoever's behind the scenes, they're gonna give them more money. Alright, and the second vision about The Last of Us 3 coming out. Now, the thing is, I'll be honest, I don't know if it's actually coming out. I have no idea. I don't know if this plague that I had a vision about has something to do with the game, or has something to do with the physical world or the spiritual world. But one thing I do know is, according to the dream, I'm immune to it. And we know that those who are in Christ, according to, Psalms 91, no plagues are going to touch us and we'll be fine. But the thing is that also about the second vision, there's some people that said that I was the only one that could go fight it. Obviously, he's talking not about me, but talking about Christians in general. Maybe God is going to be calling people to do a lot of healing ministries when this plague comes physically. Or it's just talking about, Christians to go on the offensive and start praying for people who are going to be affected by this spiritual plague.